Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Mir, and today I am just kind of doing stuff. Let me uh, put the right metadata in the stream. Wow, I really haven't streamed since there we go. That'll work. Whoa. Okay. Webcam froze for a bit. I guess, well, no one's here. And that's the end of that sentence. No, but I guess while no one is here, I should go through the stream settings. We are. This is, as you. Also, my webcam is mirrored. We'll get to that. Firstly, this is Ubuntu. This is a kind of new Ubuntu install. For the very simple reason that I wanted to use ZFS, but my server, which was running Fedora at the time, could not do that. There's a whole kernel module licensing issue, and so I tried to get it working, and it just wouldn't load the module. DKMS was broken. I've never had DKMS working for any length of time. I think it's on right now for some OBS stuff that I didn't end up using. We'll get to that. But everyone has a few computer things that they just do not trust at all, and DKMS is that for me. For those not familiar, it's like dynamic kernel module system for Linux. It supposedly makes it so your kernel can load modules that are packaged separately and don't necessarily have to be compiled into it directly, which is cool, or would be cool if it worked. And people act like it's just a thing that exists, but I've never gotten it working. It's one of those things. Some people can't get BTRFS to work. I can't get DKMS to work, and so the jargon goes. So anyway, that's why this is Ubuntu. I haven't bothered ricing it much because I don't care that much. I kind of like the terminal color scheme a little bit, I guess. It's not the worst. The side dock is also not the worst. The weird system tray, I don't believe in system trays. I don't like how they're dynamic like this. I have mixed thoughts on how the power menu up here looks now. I kind of preferred when it had more text, but I also totally get this look. It's nice and compact, and all the icons are fairly common. I love having these app views. Lots of stuff doesn't have those, and I think that's bad. XFCE, there's a program called XF Dashboard which supposedly adds this screen, but that's one of those things. I tried it, it sort of worked, and then it crashed. Maybe it works if you have a completely bog standard setup, but I don't, because when I care enough to use XFCE on my primary machine, I like to rice it, and I like to use a different window manager, and then that just doesn't... things don't work out. the modularity is both a blessing and a curse, and I don't know how to scroll desktops without going into the app view on GNOME. Okay. Command Alt. Okay, it's Command Alt arrow key. That's interesting. Okay. If we do Command Alt up, we can still go. Okay. Good to know, I guess, until I change that. I haven't got around to... I mean, I sort of have, because the, I use caps lock as escape, and to set that you have to, like, manually modify dconf. Ubuntu, the normal settings app is this. It's not great. And there's a lot of settings that are just completely missing. Like this keyboard, I'm sure this is great for modifying desktop launchers, but there is no way in this menu, this accursed menu, dare I say, to modify your XKB custom rules. So what you have to do is something like this command, which I'll just so anyway, dconf is the GNOME settings registry. It's sort of like the Windows registry, except not at all. And the entire thing is basically it's INI files is all it is. It's just a hierarchical database of key values, and the values can have various types that are semi-obvious syntactically. So you can just put stuff into there and then load it back. I made a 3-line Vim plugin for this. It's absolute classic. You can just I don't have them right now, but you can basically you can just dump the entire GNOME settings, like the entire registry, and it has all of the different domains of stuff, and you can set RGBs, you can set the layout of this. You can like move them around and stuff. It's all in here. You don't have to do any of it manually, and you can even oh shit, I broke my webcam. Whoops. How did I break my webcam with that? Oh well, you don't need to see that. You don't need to see me. The angle isn't even right to see me. Maybe... What if I turn my phone over and try that again? I could probably do that. Anyway, point is... What was I going to say? You can even dconf watch, and then you can like move stuff around and look at the changes. It shows everything you change. It shows the before and after. Like if I go to terminal preferences, new tab position, open new terminals in tab, it'll show the setting for that, and if I change it back, it'll show it again. So you can just change stuff that is there in the desktop UI and watch what it's actually doing to the registry, and then you can put that in a file and load it up whenever you want. And that is super nifty. This, in my opinion, this trick is what makes GNOME kind of usable, maybe, arguably. Let's see if bad file descriptor. What? Plug you in. It's charging. Settings. Go. USB webcam mode. This is the other thing I've found out. What? I just enabled it. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Basically, I had installed the Flatpak version of OBS, but permissions were weird and I didn't feel like figuring it out. So I realized Android now, or at least this particular Android device, which is a USB webcam. Yes, actually do a USB webcam for me. Thank you. There we go. Hello? Aww. Really? Really? No. I guess this connection just isn't very stable. That's too bad. I may have to install DroidCam OBS, which I don't want to do. Oh, wait. They have screen cappy. Also, I removed all of the snaps and I removed Snapd, but I don't know how to get apt to stop showing always allow from this computer. Oh dear. What? Okay, I guess we just don't have a webcam today. That's fun. More space for chat, I guess. Empty, empty chat. I suppose if I wanted anyone to show up, I could just ask. That's no fun. Okay, I'll give up on that for now. Let's actually get into the point of today's stream, which is emacs. Why is the tiny? Why is emacs tiny? Also, I used to have a command called stupid. It was basically just a wrapper that grepped PSAUX, and that was kind of cool. Anyway, I don't want emacs to already be open. I want to clone my actual Emacs config and try and get that bootstrapped so that we can start doing interesting things later. Git.gay/mirror/emacs.emacs.d. There it goes. I didn't remember the repository name. So now, when we launch Emacs, it should instead... wait, why is the desktop entry for Emacs client? I don't like that. I want it to... If I had my way... Well, if I had my way, the client-server model would actually work. But it doesn't, so we have to do it with like actual solid. Also, no font, lol. Why is there more processes now? Okay. Well, we can work with this. I'm doing stuff, it's not responding. I'm just gonna sit back and wait for that, and when the size updates, we'll know it's actually responded. There may be a bug in... Oh, there it goes. Maybe? Very slowly. Very slowly. Why is it happening so slowly? Are you back? Okay. I think we might be back. I think we might be okay. I would prefer a monospace font, but I also kind of don't care. So let's make a new file. And let's describe it as multimedia. Local, I guess. Does this qualify as emulations? I'm gonna say it does. Also, okay, there we go. Sometimes the graphics just kind of glitch out. Okay, okay. Also, we do have our mode line, we just don't have nerd font for it. Some people absolutely hate nerd fonts and find they never work. I've always had pretty good luck with them. Like if I try decently hard, I can just get them and they're fine. You know, worst case, I get the ones from the Power Level 10K GitHub repo, which is the Zish prompt that I use. Again, when I bother setting it up, which is less and less often nowadays. Anyway, let's do this. I disabled the window groups feature, so I can't actually. Also, it's very hard to see at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if it shows up for you at all, but the cursor is white on the desktop. Yeah. The cursor is white on the desktop, but it's black on the top bar and on the sides, and on Firefox and Emacs. It's also white on the task manager. So that's interesting. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Should I? I think I'm going to try once more to get DroidCam working. USB webcam. It is me. USB webcam enabled. So we run MPV on the USB webcam, and okay. We are now face cammed until we're not. Yay. Let me watch the stream for a bit with some audio to see whether any of this is actually coming through. Let me watch the stream for a bit. I don't have speakers. Chat, I don't actually have speakers on my computer, so I can't tell you whether there is actually sound coming out of the computer right now. Anyway, let's share this. Let's copy link. And let's go to Fetty. I said let's go to Fetty. And wait ages for everything to load. You don't need to see my timeline. Actually, I don't think you need to see that. What if you see something you're not supposed to? Sure, I'll do that. Just kind of send that and then immediately close the tab so you can't see, and then immediately look away from that window so my mental health isn't corrupted by seeing when nobody shows up. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to make a thingy that does stuff. Wait, I just realized a crucial flaw with my plan to make a linear audio editor, which is that this computer does not have speakers plugged in. I should probably go get those. Also, let's make the text a little bigger. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I've got some speakers to plug in. The left one. This is the right one. Right has the main jack and also has 2 left speaker and DC in, so that might be important. I should get some stream music, just some light stuff. Okay, chat. There's a red, a green, and a blue audio jack. Which one is the correct one to plug the speaker into? This is a stereo speaker set. I guess I could just try them all. I need to plug the power in first too, so that kind of doesn't, it's kind of moot right now, I guess. Where is the power for those? I remember what it looks like. It's a very thick power brick. It's a proper wall wart, to be sure. Is it this one? I think it is this one. It's Yamaha. Yes. I've obtained the power brick. Now, is there... Hang on. I may have to stretch this across the room. I did not put... Okay. Those speakers are right next to each other on the left side of my desk because that's how far the cable reaches from the next outlet over across the room. Is it blue? Is it blue? Let's get out our GNOME speaker test, I guess. Sound. Output device. No, it's not that. Is it this? Line output. Test.
Front, left.
No. Oh wait, my
Front, right. Front, left. Front, right.
we have front, left, front, right. Let's
Front, left. Front, right.
okay, we have audio now. Fantastic. That might help when making an audio editor. Just a thought. You know, I don't know anything about these things. The only exposure I have to linear editing is watching a Cathode Ray Dude video, so we're just gonna try and make something. Yeah. How do you even start making something? Also, my line numbers are broken. Look at that. Isn't that just a microcosm? Somebody clicked on the stream by accident. Yay! I probably saw that I wasn't here because I was setting up the speakers. That checks out. Sorry. Even if I was here, it wouldn't actually do any good. Also, excuse me, while we're doing things that aren't streaming, I need a bit more air. It's hot in here. Okay. We have obtained airflow by opening the window. Also, yes, the flag is in the window behind the blinds, because otherwise I couldn't access the blinds controls and I needed to lessen the glare in here, which didn't really work, but it was a nice thought. You know, it's better than it was, let's say. Also, I do have a sore throat, so part of the reason that I might be talking weird is that. The other part is just because I'm bad at talking and I hate my voice. So, yeah. Let's make some emacs. First, let's switch those to I know there's a file I could edit that would make the auto insert put the right thing there, but I don't know what that file is. We need to... What's the first step in recording audio? we need to package requires. All right. So, I guess we can temporarily now I need to find a test audio file. It needs to be something that is not copyrighted because YouTube, but it also needs to be something that sounds good. Do I have anything like that? Do I actually have anything like that? Let me... Oh, that's fun. Is the Miko song... Is Miku copyrighted? Is it possible to copyright Miku? I guess there's only one way to find out. There's lots of ways to find out. I'm just choosing the worst one. Welcome to the stream, everybody. MPV play. Is it playing? I don't... Desktop audio, it's not playing. What? Oh no. It's fine. Also, oh look, my background transparency works now. That's hilarious. Um, okay, that works. But it's showing the image, and it definitely doesn't need to. Can we make it not do that? Okay, okay. So we want to check. I need to pull up the manual for MPV. Also, Um, the version of man in my emacs config is bugged. I don't know what I messed with the code, and I don't know what I did, but it made it so it doesn't switch to the new buffer before starting to create. There we go. What? What? It disappeared. Crap. If we man MPV while in save and then kill. And then we reopen the buffer. That might have saved it. I don't know. Make that into man mode. Put it over there. Frick. There it goes. Well, it's the wrong buffer, but it has the right contents and it's highlighted correctly, so I guess that's fine, lol. Has anyone joined the stream? Apparently not. Welcome, everyone. I want to remove album. No results for album cover. Can I remove art? Hi, Aubrey. Thank you. What I'm doing is currently I'm reading a manual page for a media player to try and get it. See, if I want to cut up songs. So if I do this, it plays the Miku song, but it plays up the video as well. It puts the album art, the image, and I don't want it to do that. Audio display. There we go. Okay. Equals no. If we do that, okay, it doesn't like that formatting, so we can just turn that into a list, I guess. Oh, right, it has to be quoted. I'm getting rusty. I haven't done this in a while. Now it's broken. Wait. There we go. We can pause. If I run play with no art. Resume? No, wait, that's different. Wait. Wait. Wait, EMPV is built in. I don't need to do this. Huh. Okay, let's see if I can do this without the external library. This is interesting. Also, yeah, one person watching. Thanks. Does this still work? Yes. 52? What does 52 mean? Why are you telling me 52? Let's resume. 6. 60. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Is it... Surely it's not seconds. There's no way that's emitted into the song. That's literally just, like, the... What's it called? I'm not a musician anymore. It's something. Point is... I guess I should look up what this actually means. Also looks like this by default does not show Apple Mart, so that's good. We can just use this. I can add that line back in when I need other stuff. No. I can add this back in now, because if Emacs doesn't have that built in, then I can't do it. So, I can play in audio. That's cool. Can I get the info about it? EMPV media title path metadata. So So this is just going to print out metadata, and then let's see if that exists. Wait. Interesting. Okay, that does work. It tells us the path, the metadata. Very cool. That is some basic ass information, though. It doesn't tell us the codec or the bit rate or any of the technicals about the audio. It just tells us where it came from and what it says it's called, which is good to have, but not quite what I'm looking for. I guess we'll call it that. Wrap it in a function so it... Oh, yeah, that. I forgot. Functions need to have arg lists. Let's call that good. And what I actually need is... Okay. I need to... There we go. Okay. That's the most trivial possible wrapper around ffprobe, which is the command that tells you all of the stuff about the file. So I can look back on my messages here. That tells you all of the ffmpeg flags, which I don't need. I could probably parse this out, but parsing text is a pain. I don't want to bother with that. Let's just split the window. Get a terminal. Oh, okay, I guess. Oh, that's right. I have like my window managers set so that it does stuff. Let's fix our rendering. Reload our shell. Really? Also, hey, Ezza's installed. Nice. Shout out to the Ezza dev. Cool person. Hope she's doing okay. Oh, that's not readable. That's too much stuff. Oh. Maybe now it's readable. Nope. Let's get the manual for ffprobe. Maybe I should fix my manual viewer first. Nah, it's fine. Also, this is taking a while to format. It's probably because it's a very long manual page. Wait, it's formatted? If I put this buffer into man mode, give it a few seconds, and the contents are going to disappear and maybe go over here. I'm just going to wait for that to happen because I know it's going to. Maybe. Maybe not. What if I just read the manual and hope it doesn't happen? Designed to be easily parsable by a textual filter, specified by output format option. Let's search for that. OF. Okay, we can do JSON. That was going to be my next question. Also, yep, of course, it just disappeared. Whatever. I got the info I needed. Wait. Oh, wait, no. Yeah. No, yeah, no. Failed to set. What? No, that's that. Okay, I need to fix my manual page viewer. I guess we're doing this now after all. Okay, this is the file that I have that is wrecking everything. Wait, this isn't even being loaded. What? Apparently that's not even doing anything. So why the heck is this? That doesn't even do anything. What is happening? This is not getting loaded. Okay. How about I just give up on man and use woman instead? That's only partly a joke. There we go. See? Flawless. Man is broken, but woman works perfectly fine. It's funny because man is short for manual, and it's a program built into the operating system that like formats the stuff its own way, and then Emacs just like does that. It invokes that in the background, whereas woman is it re-implements the rendering instead of like piping it, I guess. So you don't have quite as complicated a formatting, because it's doing it all itself. But what you do have, because it just directly reads the files and interprets them itself. It's all just files on the computer, I guess. Anyway, output underscore format. Why is it underscore? Why is it underscore? What? And it has to be one dash. It has to be one dash. There we go. So now, if I go to messages buffer, what? Why is it? It did the same output as it normally would, but without what? It put little squirrely brackets like JSON is supposed to have, but it put them after all of the stuff. What if we just reorganize the command? What if we do it that? No, that's exactly the same. Look at that. It's literally. Am I? Okay. What's writers do? Writers. String validation. What does that have to do with anything? No replace. Default. No key. No print wrappers. CSV. Okay, no, if I do it on the command line, it does it correctly. ffprobe shared music miku.flac dash output underscore format space JSON. Like it's supposed to be. I would say maybe the file name having brackets in it makes things weird, but it's finding the file, that's not the problem. JSON-based format. Each section is printed using JSON notation. That's not JSON notation, though. It's not a valid JSON object. You just put squirrelies around it. That doesn't mean anything. That's nothing. It's nothing. What? Okay, I hate XML with a passion. But how does the XML look? It just wraps the whole thing in an ffprobe tag and then puts all of the contents. I'm starting to think this doesn't actually do. I'm starting to think the formatting of this is not real. Output format INI. That's not what INI format looks like. Does flat work? Like, that's the most basicest format. You'd think if anything worked, it would be that. That's all text. There's no equal signs. INI has equal signs, does it not? Does the CSV encoder do anything? No, it doesn't. It does literally nothing. There is no difference whatsoever. None of those values are separated by a spaceless comma. The commas are in there in every format. Okay, so ffprobe formatting just doesn't appear to work. That's really annoying. Okay. Alright. What am I supposed to... Okay. Ooh. Gotta love the links at the bottom of the man page. Or woman page, I guess. ffprobe all. Woman formatting buffer. Okay. Look, that's how a manual page should be. Now, if only there were pretty colors here instead of just bold and italic. Okay, what am I even reading? Machine readable. I doubt that. I don't believe that. Also, this is just the FFmpeg manual. You know what? Puppy need a break from it all. I'm playing Tetris. Alright. You know, people make fun of emacs Tetris, like, haha, your text editor is so stupid that it has Tetris in it. But like, can you imagine how much joy the person who first implemented Tetris in Emacs must have felt? I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful that somebody made this, and that through the magic of free software, we can all have it forever. I think that's pretty wonderful. And I also would like if this had holds, but I think that's a later feature. I don't think like NES Tetris or whatever had that. But I'm also the world's most dedicated Nintendo hater, so I mean, I don't care if a shitty console from 50 years ago was missing an essential feature on a game, even if that feature only became essential later. Like, there's no way to say this that doesn't make me sound pretty bad for... Look. I don't actually have any particular feelings about Nintendo. I just think it's kind of weird how much everybody else seems to like their stuff, despite the company having like provenly terrible practices. And I make fun of them not because I hate them, but because I am so indifferent that and you are so enamored that my indifference looks like hate. I can say something like, Nintendo is not the end-all be-all of gaming, and we probably shouldn't take them seriously. And you're like, yes we should, yes they are. What the heck is wrong with you, Mirror? And it's like, nothing's wrong with me, what's wrong with you? You held a special place in your heart for a company which is evil. And I guess we've all got our evil companies that we like, despite their being evil. But like, why is Nintendo that for so many people? That's not any better, is it? I have not adequately communicated the reasons for my Nintendo disdain. My Nintendo disdain. They're coming too fast. Alright, whatever. 771, I guess that's fine. Let's exit out of that. Like the things Tom Seven does to his Nintendo, that's a valid use of Nintendo. You're looking at an old computer that's kind of weird, and you're doing interesting things to it. Like that I approve of. Just like I approve of putting Linux on Macintoshes. But by which I mean anything made by Apple that has a desktop. Like that's just good. That's like that's reclaiming stuff. But anyway, what were we doing? We were crashing out because FFprobe cannot actually show stuff. The data that FFprobe... Do I actually need any of this? That's the better question. Let's not get into the weeds. I don't need to see his identification. But no, I don't actually need to have any of that information in order to make a I guess I should explain what I'm actually trying to do here. What I want to be able to do is make markers at points in a file, point and like time codes of an audio track, and assemble an FFmpeg command which recuts that audio track. And I guess this would work on video too. Yeah. Just like linear editing of time-based media. So, what actually needs to happen is we need to have we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that either. Okay, we have the MPV seek. Also, don't you love my broken line numbers? So you see how it says 33 there? That's because, well, the idea is that the line I'm on, it shows that line in big yellow, and then it shows how far away all the other lines are in small dark gray. But for some reason, it stops updating and results in nothing being shown. Is anyone even watching this? No, but they were for a bit. Okay. I had 2 people and then I lost them both. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Look on my work, see mighty in despair. Okay. I need to make it so that you can play a thing. Can I get location? How do I get the... Pause, start, resume, toggle, filter, and queue. Running, sentinel, sec last, copy path, play path, volume up, build URI, play audio, video, radio, set volume, find files. At what point do I open Firefox and just Google for it? I think we're at that point. Also, forgive me for not disabling the news. I haven't gotten to it yet. Is that a thing? Oh no, there's a GitHub issue about this. Clipboard. Ew. I don't want to use the clipboard. I don't know. I want to... I'm not looking for trying to get the duration. I'm looking for... What? Is a console like Quake? You mean like everything has? If your app doesn't have a console, what the heck are you doing? Also, love how pressing Alt brings these guys up. I do wish I could put them on here though. Also, what? What? You. Okay, so search was no help. I'm glad. I'm glad the search wasn't any help. You know, if it was, that would have been lame. I'm being punished for searching. I'll figure this out later. Yeah, I'll figure this out later. Whatever, nobody's watching this. It doesn't matter. I can just end the stream.